Alrighty, so continuing with our warrior poses, we've done warrior 1, we've done warrior 2, we're now going to look at warrior 3. Warrior 3 is a balanced pose. You're standing on one leg for warrior 3. Now, if you've done the half moon balance, you will have seen that we opened our hip out to the side. In warrior 3, our hips are staying square, so we're lifting the leg. In half moon, you're using the butt cheeks on the outside edges, okay, so glute mid and glute min. In warrior 3, we're using max, okay, max is the muscle on the back. Most people, their glute max is weak, okay, big muscle is a wee bit lazy, okay. Think about like Great Danes, they're these huge, enormous dogs. You take them for like a little tiny walk around the block and then they sleep all day. So, you know, these bigger creatures, these bigger muscles, they sometimes are a bit lazy and get a bit tired. So in warrior 3, I want you to forget about how high the floating leg goes. That's actually not the leg that's being stretched. This is a hamstring stretch, warrior 3. It's the standing leg, okay? So the standing leg is getting the stretch. As we lift the other leg higher, we're gonna stretch the standing leg. So we're gonna start by standing on our right foot, and I want you to just take your left foot behind you, okay? Hands on the hips, and just pull your hips forwards. Now what we don't want to do here is as we lift, dump into our lower back. So we don't want to be lifting and then just arcing our back here. So there is that engagement, that magnetization of the hip and the rib towards each other, okay? So try not to let the belly go and just totally collapse. So hands on the hips, bring that foot behind you, and then all I want you to do is start to hover that toe off the floor. Now without turning the toes out to the side, how high can you lift the leg without arcing in the back? Okay, this is just getting acquainted with glute max. So just lifting that leg, that's kind of max for me. Otherwise, if I go higher, I just start to open up my belly and dump into my lower back. So give it a go on the other side. If balance is really bad, use that wall. Slide the right toe back. Feel that engagement in the tummy so you don't dump into your lower back. And then lift that foot. Okay, now if this is really hard for you, it's kind of a sign that your glute max is quite weak. Keep the toes dialed down. You can get the leg a lot higher by turning the toe out. We don't want to do that. Good, bring the foot down. So 2 reasons why you might struggle with warrior 3. I really struggle with it. That's because I've got tight hamstrings and weak glutes. Okay, so weak glutes, tight hamstrings, those are things that are going to make this pose challenging. But probably if this pose is challenging, we should do it more. So we can start with the hands on the hips again. Weight to the right foot, slide that left toe back. Good. From here, start to lift the foot. Now, as soon as you lift the foot, you're going to flex into it. Okay, toe faces down. Lift to that point where you're like, okay, that's as far as I can go. Now, you can have a soft bend in that standing leg, and then you can start to tip forwards. Okay, it doesn't have to be far. You can see that I'm kind of on a 45. Now, hands can stay on the hips, or you can bring the hands to heart center. Now, what I want you to think about is your chest pulling forward. So the chest is leading you. Try not to open up into the lower back. Keep that slightly engaged. And then instead of creasing the back of the neck, take the gaze down, okay, so that your neck is smooth. Really dialing that toe down, kick, kick, kick. A couple of options with the hands. They can stay here. They can come behind you, almost like you're Superman. Or they can come forwards. I find this the hardest because your core really has to work. You want your biceps in line with your ears versus this. Okay, this is really easy. You want the biceps in line with the ears. Good, let's try it on the other side. So your left foot is now going to be your balancing foot. Slide that right foot back. Okay, hands on the hips to start. Take the weight forwards and then just lift the foot. As soon as the foot lifts, flex the foot. Lift until you feel like, no, I'm going to dump into my lower back. Then you can start to hinge, okay? Eventually, warrior 3, we're coming forwards, the foot is down, and we're trying to straighten the front leg. Good. Options with the hands by heart center, behind you, squeezing the shoulders together, or taking them forwards, biceps by those ears. Good, and then bringing the foot down. Hamstring stretch, okay? And glute strength. Well done, guys, that's your warrior 3.